This mindset shift has changed the way I think, and it's ultimately shifted my entire reality. The law of attraction isn't some fancy mumbo jumbo spiritual bullshit. It is a fundamental law of the universe. And using this law to your advantage comes down to one simple thing: understanding it. I'm going to break this down for you in the most simplistic of terms. And to do this, we need to go back on the space-time continuum to when I was dead broke, because when I was in this position, all I could think about was money, the thing I didn't have. And if you're new to this channel, if you don't know me, my name is Nick, and this book here is my book of agreements. These are short passages that I live by day to day, things that I've learned, the little seeds that I've sowed inside of the success I've created. And there is one agreement I want to read to you because this sums up the law of attraction incredibly well. And so I'm going to do exactly that. The law is called, you are the narrator, not the listener. And this is the 81st law I've written. And it goes like this: life on earth can be likened to a book or a movie. In fact, anything with a storyline and a main character. There is no escaping this, but the average man often fails to use this to his advantage. Most men go through their entire life allowing life to happen to them on whatever terms the universe decides. And unfortunately, this may only result in a mediocre life, at best. Those on the path of greatness, they are presented with the same objective reality, but choose to bend space and time how they see fit, ultimately forcing the universe to operate on their terms. The mind and the body, when operating in harmonious unison, have the ability to manifest anything and everything, but not in the way that many believe. And this is what I'm going to get at. Think of this objectively. If you can think of something, you can see it in your mind. If you can see it in your mind, this is existential proof that it already exists in an alternate multidimensional reality. Now, if this is the case, which it is, now it comes down to whether or not you're willing to act it into existence in this physical reality. The only thing separating a thought and the same thought manifesting in your observable reality is a physical action required. Now, as I said, this is very abstract, so let's use a real life example. Let's say you're walking down the street, you see a beautiful woman. You are going to feel an innate and biological desire to approach her, but allow fear and discomfort to deter you. And so that said, the imaginal reality or the imaginary reality that plays out in your mind likely suggests otherwise. If you can envisage yourself approaching this woman with great success, then it is true to say that the only bridge between this imaginary reality and physical reality is fulfilling that very action of approaching her. And it truly is as simple as harmoniously coupling a thought with its equal action. And this in and of itself is where most men get lost. And this is what I'm going to explain very, very shortly. Men create such a divide between their thoughts and actions that over time, their desires become fully suppressed and fade away until they ultimately become a spectator of their own life. And this is a sad reality for most. But that said, the fix, although not uncomfortable, is simple. And most importantly, it can be implemented instantly. The key to transitioning from the spectator to the narrator lies in raw, brutal, impulsive action. And at first, it will feel clunky, it will feel forced and uncomfortable because you are breaking a lifelong habit. And for most, this is a foreign action. But action is addictive, and once you build such momentum, it's very hard to stop. Implement this agreement into the way you operate every day, in real time. You will bend and mold reality to fit your terms. You are the narrator, not the listener. Now, this is a very abstract concept, but let me explain. For something to exist in your mind, this is existential proof, as I read out to you, that it can exist in this reality. When you have a dream, let's say you dream about yourself sitting in a Ferrari 488 Pista, you've got your mum in the passenger seat, you can envisage that. You can see the red color of the Ferrari. You can hear the wind blowing over the rooftop as it's lowered down. This is something you can genuinely see in your mind. And the only thing separating something in your mind and reality is the actions required to get there. There is a gap between, take your dream life right now, it's over here, it exists. Take where you are now, it also exists, but this exists in physical reality. In order to get from here to here, there is a certain number of actions, specific actions that need to be undertook in order to close that gap. And so here's where it gets super interesting. If it already exists in your mind, this is to say that it does exist somewhere in an alternate reality that hasn't manifested on this earth yet. And this is not spiritual. This is science, and it's a law of the universe. If it exists, then why can you not bring it into this reality? I can take another smaller example, and this is where it gets a bit more practical. Let's say I would like to go and buy a beautiful steak. I'm in Bali right now in my beautiful villa, and I really want a nice steak. I can envisage the steak. It's medium rare, it's nice and crispy on the outside. There's some sriracha salt sprinkled on top of it. It's a beautiful, juicy steak. I can see it. I can imagine what it tastes like. I can imagine what it looks like. If I want to manifest that into my physical reality, It's not about sitting there and praying to the universe and going, oh, I am beautiful, I want a steak, I'm gonna get a steak. It's not about that. It's not about the spiritual bullshit. It's about doing the things required to get it. And so what do I need to do in order to manifest that physical reality of attaining the steak? I go outside, I get on my motorbike, I turn the key, I start the ignition, and I ride down to my favorite steak restaurant and I order the steak. And all of a sudden, I have manifested that into physical reality. Although I haven't used any of the spiritual bullshit of affirmations and all of the things that these people preach around the law of attraction, I have manifested it because it was not there and I did the things required in order to attain it. This is on a very small scale and it's a very small example of attaining a piece of food, but the same applies to your dream life. If you can envisage it, you know what it looks like, you know what it sounds like, you know how it feels, you now fundamentally know that it can exist. Because for you to be able to see something in your mind, it needs to be able to exist. There is a reason you cannot create a mental image of what God looks like, because there is no proof that there is a God. You may be religious and there is no shade whatsoever. I believe in a higher power, but you can't see it because there's no proof that it exists. But there is a reason you can see the Ferrari. There's a reason you can see yourself retiring your mother. There's a reason you can see yourself having millions and millions of dollars, because it is possible and it does exist somewhere. And so you take the steak example, which is a much more practical, real life and applicable example that you can actually go, okay, that makes sense. Plug in your dream life and apply the same concept. If I can envisage it, if I can see it, I can feel it, I know it exists, what are the actions I need to take in order to get it? And this is where most people fail, because number one, the actions required to create an exceptional life. And look at me, I'm in Bali in a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-story villa with a pool. I have an incredible motorbike. I go to the best gym in town. This was not easy, and I'm certainly nowhere near my dream life yet, but this was nothing but a dream 12 months ago. And the way I manifested this was, number one, I said to the people closest in my circle, I want to be in Bali, I want to live in a beautiful villa, I want to be riding motorbikes, I want to be living with the boys. And then I pursued relentless and ferocious action required in order to attain that. And this is where most people fuck up. Number one, they think it's going to be easier than it's actually going to be, and it's going to happen quicker than it's going to happen. It's not. And this is why it's so important to genuinely, truly fall in love with the process. All catchphrases and slogans aside, if you do love the process, that means that you get fulfillment and enjoyment from doing the things that you need to do to get to the outcome you want to attain. That's number one. Number two, because it is so hard and there is so much input and effort and action required, most people just don't do it. And it genuinely comes down to that. If you're willing to do the things and you do them, you will get the outcome, period. I have not seen in any physical reality or ultimate dimension someone do everything required, go to the gym every single day, work on their business every single day, not give up when it gets hard. I've not seen anyone do everything right for long enough and not achieve what they want to achieve. And it comes down to that. And so, to summarize, this law is a real law of the universe. Just like gravity is the law of the universe, just like physics, everything exists under natural laws of the universe. And the law of attraction is a genuine law. And it's not some spiritual bullshit concept where you need to say your affirmations in the mirror and magically millions of dollars will appear in your bank account. You need to be able to see it. If you can genuinely see it vividly in your mind, it means it does exist and it can exist in your reality. And if that is the case, you need to work out what needs to be done in order to attain it. And these are the puzzle pieces. See it, believe it, feel it, understand the roadmap and the actions required to get there, and pursue relentless action. Do not do anything other than the things that are required in order to get it, and you will get it. This is how the universe works. If I go down to my favorite cafe and I say, can I please get a long black triple shot, I will get that coffee. If I do not walk down to the cafe and I sit in bed and I go, long black triple shot, and I try and use affirmations to bring it into reality, it will not come. I may be able to see it and envisage it and feel it, but I won't get it. And so they are equally as important, being able to see it and being able to do the things required in order to get it. And I promise you, if you apply this law to your day-to-day life and you truly begin to envisage everything you want, and you can see it in your mind and you can do the things required in order to attain it, you will create your dream life, because I've done it. I may not be anywhere near where I will be in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, but fuck, I'm exactly where I wanted to be a year ago, and I manifested into reality by doing the things I needed to do to get it, seeing the life, doing the things, it came to fruition.